Investors and traders, welcome to the channel Market Chart Pattern. Today is 25th of September 2023, and I hope everyone is having a great day. In this video segment, we are going to take a look at the key US technology stocks, as we always do for this video segment. This video is for educational purposes only, and it is not a financial advice. We are taking a look at the daily chart of the Tesla Motors. So this is stock of Tesla, and here one of the key things that we are watching for is that the market had been pulling back right from the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement. So that's here, and where it is right now today, the market went exactly to the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement of these lows here. You know, this little pattern, which is the abandoned baby bottom one. So the market pulled exactly to the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement after having found resistance from the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement of this swing. Now, the key thing is to watch how the market is going to trade tomorrow. If the market is able to take the highs out of today, that's going to be a very positive sign. So one of the things is that not only the market pulled back right into the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, but also look at this trend line coming here. So, you know, there were two things coming together, so it was an important point. So again, what we like to think is that as long as this point, which is the $212 per share level, or roughly speaking $210, is not broken to the downside, the chances are that in fact we are moving in an ABCD formation to the upside. And if we just look at the weekly chart, if that is indeed the case, so we will have the next target being $350 per share level. That's gonna be this ABCD projection. And also just looking at the weekly chart, what we also see is that market actually pulled back right into the 20-week moving average as well. So that's what we are watching in Tesla Motors. Let's have a look at the Apple. So Apple recently did its iPhone 15 release, and what the pattern that we had been watching for had been this 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of the lows of from the beginning of this year. So the market is it came actually on this occasion pretty close to this level. And the other thing that we're also watching is this 1-to-1 price projection, which is a little bit lower to around $165 per share level. So anywhere between 170 to $160 per share level is pretty good support for this stock. Let's take a look at Shopify. So in the Shopify stock, it had been moving in a nice channel, but the channel formation was broken, and the pattern formation that we were watching for was this 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. Then it had a nice bounce right to the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement, and now there was a possibility that perhaps it could be a 1-to-1 ABCD price projection down right into this 50% mark. But there's also a possibility, because we have this 200-day moving average where the price actually moved into it and found support. So over the course of next few trading days, we'll be watching this price action in the stock really carefully, because there is a possibility maybe that was a pretty good bottom here. Otherwise, the 1-to-1 price projection is a little bit lower to around $48 per share level, which will also be the 50% of this entire move higher since October of last year, October 2022. Let's also take a look at Amazon. So the Amazon also found some support. It had a positive day, but if you look at the stock, it's just finding resistance at the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, moving below this, or on closing basis below this swing. There's a strong chance that we have seen a double top in this stock, and looks like it might actually go and touch this 200-day moving average, just like we have seen in the stock of Shopify. If we just draw a little retracement and see where 38.2% Fibonacci retracement is. So yeah, looks like there's a possibility it might could go and retrace 50% of it. We'll have some structural support on the left hand side, and also 200 day moving average hovering around that level as well. Okay, so let's take a look at NVIDIA. So this is the powerhouse for the AI, and AI has been driving a lot of things. So it's a very a keen stock to keep an eye on. So one of the patterns that we had been watching for was this $500 per mark level, because the 1.618 expansion of this move came right about there, not exactly to 500, but the momentum actually carried the stock higher. So now there is a bit of a correction going on this stock, but if you look at its ascent, it's really remarkable. So if the stock, which has gone this much higher in this much time, it wouldn't be too surprising to in fact see the stock retrace about 38.2% retracement of this entire move higher, which will come at around $350 per share levels. This is what we are watching in this stock, anywhere between $350 to $340 per share level. That's going to be a fair amount of pullback, but in fact it looks quite normal. And also we have got this 200-day moving average creeping higher as well. Let's take a look at Netflix. So the stock of Netflix, it formed our one-to-one ABCD price projection. Initially, we were looking at about $495, because that was the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement from the all-time highs to the lows back in May of 2022. But the stock did not reach exactly to that level, but came pretty close to it. If we look at the high was $485 per share. I also missed it by $10 in a pretty much almost a $500 stock. So I don't think it's too bad. Now the other pattern that we had been watching for had been this ABCD one-to-one price projection. It looks like the price might actually get there. So around this level of anywhere between 370 to $360 per share level is what we are watching for. That's going to be 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. It's also 61.8% retracement of this leg. And we have this one-to-one price projection also coming around here. So it's going to be a lot of stuff coming together, so forming a good zone of confluence. This could perhaps be a pretty strong support level, so we must watch the price action should the price, and if the price get there, and the chances are it might actually get there. So that's what we are watching in Netflix. Let's take a look at Meta. So the Meta stock has been pretty strong. We became bullish after it broke the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement around $200 per share level, and the stock went on to rally another $100. So the chances are maybe it's also doing an ABCD price projection right into this zone of $265 per share level. So anywhere between $270 to $265 per share level is what we are watching. Momentum perspective, the stock is actually good because the price is above the 200-day moving average. At the moment, the price is hovering around 20-day moving average. Shorter term, maybe there is just sideways movement to downward pressure. This is what we're watching in the Meta stock. Now let's take a look at Google. So this is the stock of Google. It's been moving in a parallel channel, right at the bottom of this channel. The upward move found resistance from the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement. So the yeah, I mean, for this stock, we just have to watch the level where it is right here. If this trend line is broken to the downside, chances are it could actually come down to about $120 per share level, which is the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement thereabouts. Let's take a look at Baba. It's not a US based company, meaning that it is actually a company out of China, but it's listed as an ADR on New York Stock Exchange. So I think we should also cover this stock. I will not be doing it on every single video, but time to time, because people do request this. So what we think is, as long as this point C is not broken, the price is likely actually moving to in a ABCD formation higher, and we are targeting roughly around 140 to $145 per share level, given that this point C is not broken to the downside. Now, what we have seen over the course of a few months is a price action which is sideways, and what we are looking at is we had a nice trend line. It has been broken to the downside. Let's see if there is some sort of one-to-one price projection ABCD that we really like to see. Yeah, there's a possibility it could move lower, but and also the 200-day moving average is above 20-day moving average. So momentum perspective, it's not that great, but it's just sideways momentum. The bias because of this pattern, as long as point C is not taken down and taken out to the downside, remains to the upside, in fact. And it's just in a very large trading range. So in such cases, what we can do is move on to the weekly chart. And on this weekly chart, one thing I would like to point out is this stock has done a pattern where it has actually formed double bottoms and rallied incredibly higher. Um, and these had been pretty steep retracements, almost challenging the lows, but price not able to take the low out. And this is how true bottoms are formed. Sometimes there's a retest and the price actually moves lower than the previous low, and then it just stops going lower. That means just not enough sellers there. Sometimes it just comes close to test the low, but it's not able to take that out, and which is a really great indicator that just sellers just dried up, and there were just more buyers coming in to buy than the sellers. So perhaps we could have a similar kind of pattern formation. So we just need to be watching that. But yeah, it's gonna test the patience. Really investor stuff here. Really long term. So this is what we are watching. Let's take a look at quickly at Roblox. Yeah, Roblox has been something which has disappointed us, because we were really hoping that this point C will hold it, but it did not. And what it has done is just come and clear the lows around here. Some sort of possibly a double bottom formation, but it's not confirmed till this high is taken out, so about $29 to $30 per share level. Um, so yeah, just keep an eye on this. We'll just keep on covering metaverse related stock. So we cover Meta, and of course we're also looking at Roblox. So we'll just keep an eye on it. We'll keep on following this stock. If you guys find there are some other stocks that we should also take a look at, especially in terms of stocks related to AI, that will be great. So not just these mega cap stocks like Microsoft or Google or Apple, but smaller AI players. I believe there is one called Symbiotic. Let's take a look at that. So this Symbiotic stock, I believe it's related to the to artificial intelligence. They might be developing, or they have a some technology which some big companies might be using to, so there might be a supplier or a vendor to them. So from a technical perspective, so that part you can actually, what they actually do, you can look it up online or Google about it, go to the company's website. But from a technical perspective, this stock is actually reaching 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. It's very close to that. It doesn't have to hit it perfectly. It might go up below a little bit. It might just hover around it, or might just be very very close to it. And then we have this rising 200-day moving average. So these two things are coming together. And yeah, it had a pretty good run, and now it's just retraced about 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. with some support on the left hand side. This is something which we need to watch really carefully, and I will cover this in our next videos as well. So we'll have to wait and watch how the price is actually going to behave around it for longer term. In fact, really we need to take a look at on weekly basis as well, but even on daily basis, reaching certain levels where there could be a low risk trade in the making, because we have the 200-day moving average creeping higher, and it's pretty much right at the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. And if I look at the today's price action, it's formed a really small candle. It's a doji kind of a candle. Indecision buyers and sellers were fighting the whole day, and it's just closed. Let's see if the close was higher than the open, and the close was not higher than the open, so in fact, but fairly close, very narrow trading range. So we'll have to wait and watch for a good bullish pattern formation in terms of candle formation as well, but something to keep an eye on, just because it's confluence of two things is something we like to watch in terms of pattern recognition. So thank you very much for watching the video. Do apologize, it's getting a little bit longer. Thank you very much. If you like the way we look at the markets, we do the technical analysis using pattern recognition, Fibonacci retracements, price projections and extensions and expansions, then please do subscribe to the channel. And if you just found this video of good educational value and you think you learned something out of it, please do give it a thumbs up, a like. Thank you very much. Good luck and good trading.